Hey, welcome to the DB channel. On Christmas Day, I brought along my new toy of Beelzemon to the tournament scene. Full of optimism, I'm confident in my draft list. However, it was hit with a huge reality shock. The first round robin game will actually be facing the Mother D Reaper, the mother of all decks. With a tight window for my Beelzemon to score the W, we are able to succeed. Now without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself, as the mother is pushed out the nursery, absorbing one of the searches, and does call the other searcher to draw one. And she's going to follow up with a Jerry Hardcore, which is going to be reduced cost by 1 only, so it'll just be a 4 cost Hardcore. But I do have the Tamer to set me to 3, so it wouldn't really matter. I'm going to push out the Immon and of course swing the security. And this is going to be the misplay of the game actually, because I do forget to actually mill 1. Because early in the game you do just want to blindly mill because you do want to rack up that drop zone as soon as possible. And I do hit into a Beelzemon, which is quite lucky in my opinion, and I do spawn out the Immon once again. I do drop one, discard one thanks to Digimon, and I go for the Mist Memory Boost, which is introduced in BD8, supposed to help the Mighty Spawn deck, but now it does help Beelzemon deck very nicely because it does mill and drawing one, and of course the delay option is always nice. I'm gonna go for the Dual Tamer once again to actually just mill more cards in the future turns. Now it's gonna absorb one of the Searcher through the Mother skill, and actually be hard calling another Searcher to draw one. Now the Searcher is only 1 cost hard call if you don't have any other Searchers in play, which is very nice. And she's going to use the Jerry to actually look for more searches to put on the Digisource of the mother, because once the mother has hit a nice number of 6 and 7, you actually do see the deck actually having win cons already, and now she has currently 3. She's going to hardcore the ADR07, which is going to be reduced by 3 costs thanks to the mother, and she's going to tap it to kill off the Immon to prevent any further blindly hitting to the security. I'm going to mill 3 here, not the best of mill, but I do hit into the Immon, the new Immon, which allows me to mill 3 more cards. And these 3 mills are not looking too great either. So it's going to be a 6 mil. It does really rack up the drop zone as soon as possible. And she's going to hardcore another searcher to pass the turn. Given that I do have the Tamer to set me to 3, so the 3 cost hardcore don't really hurt her too much. Gonna hatch the Digimon. I'm gonna evolve to the Immon here. I'm gonna push out one of the Tamer to evolve to the Jagger Loimon. So I do play hybrid in my Beelzemon to make sure that I do have always Digimons out on the field instead of just for the nursery and on the field. So I'm gonna go for another Mist Memory Boost to mill the top 2 and drawing 1, and these 2 mills aren't too good either. But honestly speaking, the only good mill that you're gonna get is gonna mill through the Beelzemon to actually hardcore the Immon from the drop zone. But against Mother D Reaper, any other mills is not that great, especially in the form of Blast Mode, which is supposed to kill a level 4 below, which is actually very good on paper, but against Mother D Reaper, that's all thrown out of the way. She's gonna use the Jerry skill to put one more Digisource, and she's now at 5, which is very fast in my opinion, and she's actually gonna swing with the ADR07 there. Initially, I thought she's gonna swing over the Hybrid Digimon, but she's actually considering to swing over the security. And she's gonna rewind here, and she's gonna swing at security, hitting me to 4. And she's gonna play the Gatekeeper hardcore, given that she has 5 already, but she just wants to heal 1, and she does give me 4 memory to work with. Now this will be the only window I can push with, or rather the last turn, because next turn she'll have 7 Digisource under the Mother D Reaper, and that's where the Daddy D Reaper will come down. I'm gonna first evolve to the Rhinimon, which is just 1 cost level 5 thanks to that Tamer in Digisource. I'm gonna swing at security, actually not dying there, so that's very nice. I'm gonna go for the Calling from Darkness to kill my own level 5. To, proc the effects, and of course I'll pick up 2 Digimons from the drop zone now in the form of Doberumon and 1 level 5 hybrid to hand. I'm gonna use the Rhinimon to basically play a Tamer for free from my drop zone in the form of the Tamer. I'm gonna use one of the Mist Memory Boost to push me to 4 memory because I do have 4, and 4 is the magic number for the Beelzemon Warp Evolution. In this case, it doesn't destroy anything because Mother D Reaper doesn't have any levels. I'm gonna start swinging at the security here using the Dual Tamers to actually mill 1, and because I do mill the the Beelzemon, I'm gonna use the Beelzemon skill to actually call Immon from the drop zone. I'm gonna call the Immon from the new set, which allows me to actually look at the top 4 for Beelzemon and the Dual Tamer, but in this case I do miss. Now I'm gonna use the Dual Tamer once again to mill the top card of my deck, and because the Beelzemon is swinging, I actually can evolve to the Blast Mode for just 3 costs. And this is where the misplay from the early game happens. So in the early game, I swing with my Immon and should have milled with my Dual Tamer there, because now currently I do have only 19 drop zone, which is a very awkward number to the 20, or not, you'll increase the security attack to 3 for the Beelzemon Blast Mode to hit her to just 0 security. But it doesn't really matter too much because, as I said, this will be the only window or the last turn I have to actually win the game, because now she has 7 Digisource And she's gonna hardcore a Searcher. Forgot to pay the cost there, so but then once again it's just gonna be just one cost, and this will be the final turn. She's gonna use the Jerry skill to look at top 5 to put one Searcher to the Mother Digisource. Thus arrange the cards. Now she's going to use the Gatekeeper to actually kill the burst mode there because of the bunch of ESS skill that the Mother have. So the Gatekeeper is actually hitting for 18k DP. Very nice. And now she's going to hardcore the Pilates Head, reduce cost by the Mother skill. And now she's going to follow up with the Mother, discarding 7 Digisource there. And of course calling the Daddy. The Daddy Reaper will be able to swing a bunch load, and I do have 4 security, but that's enough for the Daddy to actually kill off all the security there because she does have other searches in the drop zone other than those from the Mother. So in total there will be more than enough attacks to actually go for the game here, given that she has 7 from the Mother previously and a few of them being from the security that I've hit over, and of course this will be game. Now we do move on to game 2 with me going first, evolving to the Immon, which is the nice Immon to see in the early game because it does start the Mew engine for you, and I do have 2 of them in the early game already, so this is a very nice start for me. What can possibly go wrong? Now she's gonna hardcore the Searcher of course to draw 1, and she's actually going to play the dual yellow Tamer. So there are a lot of ways to build the Mother D Reaper, and one of them will be of course including yellow. Yellow do help you play a bunch of healing options, and of course the dual Tamer allows you to gain some bunch of memory, which sometimes the players will always attempt to choke you. So having that dual Tamer does allow you to gain memory. I'm going to mill the Immon here, and I do mill into the Beelzemon, which allows me to call the Immon once again, which allows me to continue the aggression of course. I'm going to use the Memory skill to drop the level 5 hybrid there in the drop zone. I'm going to evolve it to the Lowemon to basically cycle through my hand because my hand is looking very nasty. And of course I'm going to go evolve the level 5 hybrid for 3 costs there, not the optimal play, but these plays are just made to cycle through the hand. And of course she starts the turn with 5 memory there thanks to the dual yellow Tamer that I mentioned about, and she's going to hardcore the one of the bubbles and going to reduce cost by 1, making it 2 costs to put one of the searchers, basically speed up the process of the Mother D Reaper. As I mentioned just now, their win con will be hitting to the 6 or 7 searches in the Digisource, and she's going to extend the game of course by using Holy Wave, putting her to 4 security once again, and I'm going to have a hard time to push it. So I'll swing the level 5 hybrid in the security, and I of course hit into another Holy Wave, so basically no damage done, and the game is for the drag. I'm going to play the dual Tamer. Actually going for the second dual Tamer because my hand is that nasty. And of course, because of the dual yellow Tamer, she does start the turn with 6 memory, which is a bunch load. She's gonna hardcore the Searcher to draw 1, and of course use the Mother skill to put it under her. She's gonna hardcore the Jerry to reduce the cost by 3 thanks to the Mother skill once again, putting her just to 3 memory left. She's gonna use the Jerry skill to look at top 5, and out of the blue, she suddenly has 4 Digisource already. So in other words, she just need to have like 1 to 2 more turns to activate the Gatekeeper, but the Gatekeeper will basically deny all sorts of game plan from a deck if you don't have any answers, especially in the form of my own Beelzemon list. So she's gonna swing at security, does hit me to 4, and she's gonna hardcore the Magna Ingermon to put her to 5 once again. So you guys can see she is looking very healthy in the security thanks to the yellow options or yellow cards she play in the deck. Gonna move off the Immon. Of course I'll swing the Immon, and this is where I do attempt to make a play here. Immon will die thanks to the Magna Ingermon in the security, milling 3, not the best meal always. And I'll use the Memory skill to draw 1, discard 1, thus discard the Blast mode. And because I do have a level 5 on the field, I'm going to actually evolve it to the level 6 Beelzemon, the new one. Not exactly great, especially against the Mother D Reaper's deck because they don't really have any cards or levels for me to destroy with. I'm going to use the Miss Marion boost to put me to 3, I'm going to Mew 1 thanks to that dual Tamer. And of course, if I do Mew using a Beelzemon attack, I do evolve it to the Blast mode for just 3 costs, but the Blast mode with only security attack +1, and I do hit to the Gatekeeper at the start, but the Blast mode will destroy the Magna Ingermon because Magna Ingermon is the only level Digimon on her side of the field, and the Gatekeeper will allow her to heal 1 upon calling, and the 1 damage will only be done at the end of this attack. I'm going to hardcore the Immon to look at top 4, and I do hit into nothing there, and she's going to gain 2 memory at the start of the turn thanks to that dual yellow Tamer. She's gonna hardcore the Searcher once again, and this will put her to 5 Digisource already. And she does have the Jerry, so Jerry will of course make it to 6, making the Gatekeeper online. Now once the Gatekeeper is online, all your opponent Digimons will have minus security attack -1. And of course for Immons, hybrids, all these Digimon will become just nothing. Only Beelzemon will be able to do some damage, but because of those Digisource, she does gain 1k DP, and she of course have the Gatekeeper to actually swing over the Beelzemon if she wants to. She's gonna use the ADR07 to kill off the Inmon, leaving no one behind, and she's gonna use the Gatekeeper of course to swing over the Beelzemon, which does have 16k DP, which is nasty, man. I have no words for it. And she's gonna play the Kari Tamer to pull her to 0. And she's gonna go for a second Kari Tamer because why not? At this point, I don't have any Digimons, I don't have any hope, and Mother D Reaper is almost for sure going to win this game. As she does have 4 Digimons against my 3 security in the next turn, I don't really have much plays to make. I'm just gonna hardcore the Inmon to discard 1, to pick up the Beelzemon, Blast Mode to hand, you know, to die with money in my hand. I'm gonna evolve to the Beelzemon because I do have 10 or more drop zones already, but it's not gonna do anything at all, and she's gonna restand all those Mother D Reaper cards and gonna start swinging at security, leaving me with no hope and dreams. Not even using the Death Reaper to kill me off, and of course using the Gatekeeper, which is a very strong win con, and Mother takes the win. This is the Mother D Reaper deck that includes the yellow cards to basically extend the gameplay. And of course this is the Beelzemon that I tried to incorporate hybrids with. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.